What we do here is we multiply, we propagate, we domesticate, and we integrate trees using the vegetative methods. A tree multiplied vegetatively starts fruiting, produces true to type plants after a duration of 2 years. That is the first advantage. It reduces the duration of maturity from about 15 to 2 years for plums, pears, and other varieties. When you propagate them through that means and plant, you avoid cross-pollination. Like the plum and the pears, which are open pollinated, when you plant by seed, the tendency is that an inferior tree may cross-pollinate that one, and at the end of the day, you will not have the true to type plant that you want. That is the goal of agro-complex. As in our motto we say, at war with hunger and malnutrition. So it doesn't just matter what you eat, but the type of food that you eat. Secondly, we try to grow food organically. We don't use fertilizers here, and that is why you find acacia, Luciana, Calandra planted in alleys, where we now cut and fertilize the soil. You look at the soil type. But through this technology, alley cropping and all, we are able to grow something on this barren piece of land. When I came back to the village here in the year 2000, I discovered that the quality of water which was being consumed here left so much to be desired. Just what I left when I was a kid before I left. Water will come out of the raffia, it will flow on the surface, and people will fetch directly and drink, exposing them to many waterborne diseases. If you were fetching water, a pig crosses or a hen, it dirties all the water. If it defecates, all the water becomes contaminated. So I refused drinking this water. I drank mineral water for about a week, and I asked myself, how long am I going to do this? If I'm able to afford mineral water, what about the underprivileged people here in the village? What about the orphans? What about the widows? What about the disabled who cannot have the opportunity? So I decided to improve on it with the support from Famatanto and Ashoka Fellow. Collected this from 7 little springs, channeled it together and sent it down into that reserve tank, which is capable of carrying 16,000 liters of water, so that in the night when nobody is fetching, it accumulates in the tank, and the next day when people are fetching, I also have water for irrigation. And that is how I came to plant the trees here in order to protect the catchment so as to let the water table remain stable and produce water for both the community and the center.